The Truth in Sequence, Volume 7, by Deldrice Morvain. Taken from the Sermons of Deldrice Morvain, For Tourbillon, to the mainspring Everwound. By the word, I wind the gears. Think now on the wheel. To all things it appertains. Is there anything so sacred as the wheel? Like Tamriel Final, the wheel both moves and does not move. Anu Vanassi. The axle sleeps, while the spokes make haste, round and round in reflective circles. Now here dwells a nameless secret, child of the tribunal. Does a thing move when it moves in circles? Motion lies at the heart of the nern ensuing, but not all motion is nameless. Not all movement earns his blessing. The divine metronome calls the first motion the motion of lines. Line motion is the motion of simple minds, the motion of weak wills and scholars' vanity. Forward, it cries, forward to the fruits of cheap ambition, forward to the promise of everlasting kingdoms, forward to the mirage that the sages call progress. These misguided pioneers venture out into their wild tomorrows, and the tomorrows after that, certain of their worth, their virtue. But what profits a man or mer or beast folk to gaze deep into a single future? The aims of mortals are narrow, far too narrow. To move forward is to ignore infinite angles in favor of one. It is the act of a beast or a child. The clockwork god spurns vanity in the guise of courage. These explorers' travels only lead them farther from Tamriel Final. Anu Vanassi. Set speaks of the second motion only in whispers. The pendulum, or named oscillation, is the tick-tock motion, the motion of entropy and false hope. None but the clockwork god may claim its dark power. With each wide swing it shouts Lorcan's lie. Hail, intentions divided! Hail, cursed multitudes! Do not stand in the pendulum's path, Ash Child. Only the mainspring Everwound may bear its weight. Last is the reciprocating motion, the sublime piston, the lover's embrace. Like the father of mystery, it gives and takes in equal measure. As the bow upon the strings, it calls forth the sublime. As the carpenter's saw, it wrenches back and forth, sundering the named pursuits of lesser mer. Only a nameless heart may harness its strength. The artist, the star counter, and the engineer call it muse. The truth-blind multitudes call it destroyer. Do you see now, child of the tribunal? Every movement hides intent. To stray from the wheel is to abandon the clockwork god. In the Tamriel Final, all shall spin, and only spin. Anu Vanassi. The Truth in Sequence, Volume 8. Blessed Father of Mystery, place your oil upon my tongue, that I might tell the true tale of Mournhold. Behold the strength of untold calculation. Behold the power of the mainspring Everwound. Every nameless soul must confess the truth of Mournhold, for many lessons hide in its ashes. Sing now the hymn of anguish and horror, child of Set. Behold Mehrunes Dagon, sovereign of destruction. Mehrunes Dagon, the flame tyrant. Mehrunes Dagon, father of cataclysm. Recall how he marched upon Almalexia's jewel. Do you remember how his will burned like kiln fire, and hot pitch fell from his lips? Aloft, he held 4 great razors. Each sang a screeching paean to glorify him. Torrents of flame fell upon the innocent and wicked alike, shearing flesh from bone, belching forth widows and orphans in gouts of frothing screams. Who dares to face me, draped as I am in fire and blood? Roared Dagon. The Dark Prince beat his breast and howled long-forgotten curses. The dead burst forth from their tombs, shrieking for mercy. Geysers of black liquid sin erupted from below, flooding ruined homes with torrid lies and conspiracy. And everywhere, flames and inferno that turned all souls to ash. Almalexia, mother of mercy, cast her eyes upon the ruins of her gemmed city and wept. To see such love burned and squandered turned her heart to molten brass. Our clockwork god took note of her fury, sealing the memory away in his great mnemonic planisphere, a reminder of her love's high price. rising from the ground like foundry smoke. The tribunes confronted the Prince of Disasters, Aem's voice like a screeching steam whistle, and Sothasil's like a lurching engine. "Aram, var I Altadun," they cried, rending their garments and donning their killing masks. Aem drew her bright hope's fire and skipped over the flames like a river stone. With a mighty scream, she plunged the blade deep into Dagon's breast and turned it like a jailer's key. Scorching blood spewed out of the wound, scalding her hands and face. As she fell, the divine metronome chiseled a fort rune of infinite angles. Do you remember how the veins of tin, copper, and orichalk erupted from the depths to break our mother's fall? Through his will alone, mighty Set wound the veins into god-bronze whips and lashed the prince pitilessly. Dagon hissed and tumbled backward. His otherworldly flesh fell like chaff before the scythe. Alas, a Sarmisanasum ghoul thing emerged from every chunk. A multitude of creatures gathered around Aem, fiery tar oozing from their mouths and open sores. They groaned and retched, speaking only Dagon's name as they fell upon her. The warden hissed thrice, took up her blessed sword, and smote the beasts by the score. She severed head from neck and arm from shoulder, cleaving sin from virtue and shouting old oaths of banishing. Do you remember how the beasts fell to her on that red day? You must recall the howls of madness, how Dagon foamed and snarled beneath the lash of Sothasil. "Behold," cried the divine metronome, as he smashed the prince to splinters. "Behold the wrath of Ald Sopha. No death at my hands, false son of a false father. Care Padhome, Vi Altadun." Even then, at the end, the Prince of Destruction did not relent. With the last of his 4 great arms, Dagon dragged the last of his 4 great razors across the watchmaker's jaw, tasting the blood on his tongue. Our Father of Mysteries whispered a final chrononymic death word, and Dagon exploded throughout all time. The earth bones quaked, and the all-axle shook from this word of sundering. Truth took root. Mehrunes' ruin slivered between the cracks of Nirn and Oblivion, shrieking curses like a petulant child. The mainspring Everwound tightened his brass-wrought fist and slammed the gap shut. Another small step toward Tamriel final, Anu Vanassi. So ends the true account of Mournhold's fall. Remember this tale always. By the word, I wind the gears.